Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, sir. Hello. Good morning to you, sir. I see Oyedele. Good morning to you, Elisha. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Was all right. Thank you very much for asking. How about yourself? It was good as well. Sally Twain. Good morning to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Good morning. uh, Less than 3 minutes and then we get started. Yeah, friend Issa from Ilori. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for joining. It's good to have you. Issa Fadi. Thank you, sir. Good morning to you. All the way from Ilori. Right, less than 2 minutes and then we get started. Yeah, it's difficult to tell, but trust me, as soon as it's confirmed, you'll be notified. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome, sir. Thank you. As soon as it's confirmed, um, I'll make sure to let you know. All right, about a minute and then we get started. Good morning to you, sir. I'm Nick Conch. Okay, not. I'm not going to try. I'm Nick Conch. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much. Endurance. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome. Um, Good place to start. Good place to start. All right. Yeah. So good morning once again. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for all the confirmations. Good morning to you, SARS and Mars. Good morning, all traders. If it's your first time, good morning to you. It's great to have you. So of course, you're most welcome. All right. Today's edition of our morning market review. Right. Also, as a quick reminder, this forum every day on a daily basis, we get to look at what's going on in the markets in terms of the fundamentals, events that we have that can shape the market, and as well as the technical setups. And of course, the technical setups are to check the important key levels, all right, with the aim of being able to pick a few entries from all of these analysis, uh, especially for today. And then usually we have also have some assets that we can also have to our watch list for the rest of the week, right? Um, Without further ado, we get right to it. And as we normally do, we're going to start with the majors, and then from there, we start examining other pairs as well, right? I also like to have that when you're listening long enough, you're also able to come up with your own profitable strategies that will eventually give you an edge over the markets. Of course, it's all about the edge, all right? Um, okay, we're going to start with fundamentals. We do have some high impact news for today that I want to touch on before we get to technicals. Right, so I have first factory up, the preferred economic calendar. Okay, and today, Tuesday, 9th day of December, 9th day of December. All right. We have, okay, this came out earlier. Um, Cash rate for Australian dollar, right? And then we have the Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement, and then a press conference right after. All right. From the figures, of course, the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA, retained its cash rate yet again at 3.6%. All right, yet again at 3.6%. In reality, an unchanged rate like this is usually considered to be favorable as well for economic stability. Now, no changes in investment, no changes in spending habits, and this is expected to strengthen the Australian dollar. I'm sure by the time we check out charts for AUD, we'll see some movements right there. All right. Usually, if the rate is raised, it would have resulted in significant appreciation of the Australian dollar. All right. And the court would be perceived as economic uncertainty, all right? And that would have definitely lead to a weakened Australian dollar. But so far, the rate is unchanged, left at three or the same 3.6%. Okay. And like I said, that would be also favorable for uh, the Australian dollar. We're going to check that out as we go along. And then next up, we're also going to have Bank of Japan governor would also be speaking and can also expect some volatility uh, from 10 a.m. as a result of that speech from the Bank of Japan governor. Can expect some volatility for the Japanese yen, especially. And then this is still tentative for the US dollar. This is still tentative. We do not have a fixed time as yet. All right. We have ADP weekly employment change, all right, for the dollar. Right. So that's like the estimated average Yeah, it's back now. Sorry about that. I see SS. Sorry about that. It's back. Um, the internet got disconnected for a bit. It's back now. And I want to believe you can hear me loud and clear. It's back now. All right. So I was trying to. Okay, let me put back the screen. Okay. All right. So I was explaining the AGP weekly experiments, and I was giving us the example of a big school that every week some kids would join the school, and some kids would leave the school as well. So if more kids join, then school gets bigger, and if more kids leave, then the school gets smaller. All right. Now imagine if that same school is actually like the job market, and AGP is a big company that counts how many people are getting new jobs, all right, in the company. That's if joining the school in that school example, or how many people are losing their jobs. That is, may also be leaving the school in the school example, all right. So the ADP will look at businesses all over the country, and then that weekly change would mean that how many more or fewer people got jobs this week compared to uh, the last week. All right. So if that number is big and positive, it means lots of people got hired for that particular period. And if the number is small or negative as well, then that would mean the opposite. It means fewer people got hired or more people lost their jobs. All right. And that's particular news is important because when more people have jobs, it means they have money to spend. All right. And of course, if people have money to spend, it means businesses will definitely do better and the economy will keep growing. Okay. But of course, on the other hand, too, when fewer people have jobs, it means the economy is going to slow down. All right. It means the economy is going to slow down. SFS, can you confirm that you have a sound SS? Okay, so that's for the ADP weekly employment change, all right? Previous value is already negative. Have it at let's say 500, all right? We're hoping that as soon as the time is confirmed, we'll get the forecast and then wait for the actual results for that particular time. All right. And then later in the day, we're also going to have the job openings. Okay, we're also going to have that. And this is simply the number of job openings, again, excluding the farming industry. Of course, job openings are like a leading indicator of overall employment. So that's quite an important one. So basically for today, the focus will be on ADP weekly employment change. And then later in the day, we have, excuse me, we have job openings. All right, that's for the fundamentals. So let's head over to trading platform to see what we have in terms of technicals. Okay, so uh, as is our usual practice, we're going to start with the dollar index. Okay, we're going to start with the dollar uh, index, right? Of course, on the daily time frame, then we can head back to the 4 hours time frame as well, because I see a clearer setup on the 4 hours. All right. So usually we use the daily time frame as our anchor chart. I believe that's the best place I like to start to check out the important support and resistance levels on this particular time frame. So it's like our anchor chart where the main analysis is carried out. Okay. And I also like to say that once you have mastered the art of analyzing multiple time frames, of course, I'm not going to take my trade on the daily. I'll tune back to, I'll tune down to a much lower one for more precise entry. Okay. So I was going to say that once you master the art of analyzing multiple time frames like this, you'll continue to get a clearer, more accurate picture of what is going on in the markets. All right. So usually for me, it's either the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame, depending on the one that gives me a clearer view of what's going on in the markets. Of course, we look for structure, right? So for the USD index, if you were here during the last session, I was talking about how it should be 99.4. Let's check that out. Last week, Tuesday was second. So somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. Price was around this area at that particular point in time. Remember telling us that if it stays above 99.4, all right, if price stayed above 99.4, then it had the potential to continue to push higher above 99.4. At that time, price was above 99.4 level. Okay, yeah, somewhere here when we had the last session last week Tuesday, the price was above 99.4. Remember telling us that if it stayed above 99.4, then it had the potential to continue to push higher. All right. So here we did get a close above 99.4, but on the next candle, what happened? It gave us a bearish engulfing candle at that resistance 99.4. Then price fell all the way to the area between 98.6 and I'm going to check it out immediately. Yeah, between 98.6 and between 98.86 and 98.6. All right, stopped around that area, and then we're seeing some bullish move. Okay, we're currently seeing some bullish move from that area. All right. So it did as we anticipated, of course, and because it couldn't sustain that break above the critical support at 99.4, and fell all the way between those two levels. So currently, we have 98.86 and then 98.73. Now, if you look at how significant 98.86 has been, all right, let's do that for a bit. You see here, support is saying 98.86 here as well as resistance. You see some confluence right there. I'm going to push back a little bit. Take it on the floor. Okay, so we see that 98.86 level right there, right here as well as resistance. We continue to push. We see more attempts at 98.86. All right, and that's why that level is quite critical for the price of the USD index. Okay, so far it's supported price right here, it's supported price, and then we're seeing some bullish potential. However, this resistance at 99.12 is one to watch as well. Right now, see what happened back here. In spite of this very aggressive bullish candle, we got a red candle right at 99.12, and then it couldn't sustain that break above the resistance. So moving forward, this is the level to watch, 99.12 resistance, right? And that would mean if we eventually see a break above 99.12, then we would expect USD index to continue to push higher. And that would mean for assets like Euro USD, Pound USD, they're going to experience a significant decline from the current level. And then tomorrow, we also have expect the Federal Reserve to release the federal funds rate, and that's going to be all eyes will be on that news, definitely. It is widely expected that the Fed will lower the federal funds rates, all right? But of course, we'll see how that plays out eventually. We'll see how that plays out eventually. It's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. And it's also going to be surprising to continue to see some consolidation until we have that news. But eventually, we have resistance right here at 99.12, and then we have support at 98.86. All right. So it's going to take a break above 99.12 to confirm the bullish move for the USD index. It's going to take a break above that to confirm the bullish move for USD index. If what we see at 99.12 is a reversal pattern, then we're going to expect USD index to get bearish from that resistance, to become bearish from that resistance. All right. So I'll be looking out for that to see how it plays out eventually. One, a break above 99.12 would confirm some bullish move for USD index. All right. 99.12 resistance for USD index. All right. Let's push forward to Euro USD. Euro USD. Okay. Daily time frame first. Okay. So for Euro USD or Euro USD, I marked this area because it's going to be significant moving forward. Now, for one, we have resistance at 1.166, all right? Of course, because of the behaviors saw in the past, see here a support as well at 1.166. Here, resistance, and then we're seeing some stalking around 1.166 as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to check that out shortly. So at 1.166. Okay. So for USD index, if we get that close above the level I highlighted earlier, get that close above it, then the Euro USD will experience some decline from this current level. Currently, this is resistance level. This is also at resistance for Euro USD, also at resistance. Now let's head to the 4 hours time frame. Now I marked this level because it represents the last low that was created before we got that aggressive break above 1.166 resistance initially. But of course, price broke above that, but has now closed back below that. So we may be having a potential fake out on our hands. We may have a potential fake out on our hands. You see price break above this key level at 1.16 only to close back below it. Now, fake outs like this usually will trigger an extensive move in the opposite direction. Okay, so and then we're beginning to see a series of lows and lower lows, all right, for Euro USD. We're beginning to see some lower highs and lows for Euro USD. Okay, and then this is the level that we're looking at. This is the level that we're looking at. Because a break below that level will further solidify the bearish bias that we have for Euro USD as long as USD index is able to break above the resistance that we highlighted earlier. So currently below 1.168, I'm looking for opportunities to sell. All right, looking for opportunities to sell. Let's take it to 15 minutes now. Okay, on 15 minutes time frame, this is below the 50 period moving average. which also confirms the bearish move, which also confirms the bearish move. All right. Now, on this 15 minutes time frame, we see support levels around this area of 15 minutes. All right. So for Euro USD on this 15 minutes time frame, number one, I'll be waiting for a break below that support to go in for a sell. All right. I'll be waiting for a break below that support to take my sell. All right. Or if from the current level, if from this current level, we see a retest of the moving average, which I doubt very much. We see a retest of the moving average, that could also be a confirmation to sell as well. All right. Currently, price is below the 50-period moving average. Like I said, that also signifies a weakness. Okay. Now, because it is now close to a support area, and we do not want to be selling at support. Okay, you do not want to be selling at support, and that's why we want to wait for price to break below that support, and then that will create an opportunity to sell at resistance. Because once it breaks below that support, this level automatically flips to resistance, and then any sell below that will be selling at resistance. All right. So two things here. Number one, we see a pullback into this area, confirm some bearish patterns from there, then that will be the trigger to sell. Or number two, it close below that support at 1.1636 or thereabouts, right? For Euro USD. Okay. Euro USD on H4. Endurance, if you could rephrase what you're trying to say, please. I'm not sure I get that. If you could rephrase it, it's going to help, all right? Yeah, so that's the expectation I have for Euro USD. This is the support level I'm watching very closely on 15 minutes time frame. As soon as I get a break below that, that would be my trigger to go in for a sell below 1.1636. Okay, for Euro USD. So moving on to Pound USD. Moving on to Pound USD. Now of course, this is the daily time frame as well. Now for Pound USD, the question remains if this is going to be the bottom for Pound USD, and then we continue to get bullish move, or it's just going to be a relief bullish move in the midst of the downtrend that we have. All right, I'm going to take that again. Like I said, two questions here. One, is this level going to be the bottom for Pound USD? Then it continues to push higher from the current level, or this move here is just going to be a relief bullish move in the midst of the downtrend that we have. All right. Now I'm going to make it clearer. Obviously, we have a downtrend right there, 6 series of lower highs and lower lows all the way to this level, right? And then from this level, see a high, see higher low, and then we get a higher high as well. Okay. Now let's take this to the weekly time frame. Okay, let's take this to the weekly time frame. Now remember, the weekly or the monthly time frame, we only use them to get some perspective in markets. All right, we really don't pay much attention to them. However, we can use them to get some perspective in the market. I believe as day traders or intraday traders, we don't need to pay much attention to the weekly or monthly time frame. All right, because personally, I believe those time frames are too far out that eventually they don't have much significance to us as day traders, or intraday or scalper, as the case may be. Okay, but of course, I can use that to get some perspective. Now, in doing that, first price hit this level at 1.375, and then we got this low, we got this lower high, and then a lower low yet again. Now, currently we're seeing this pullback. Now, this is the weekly time frame. We're seeing this pullback. Now, let's apply the figure here. Okay. So applying the Fibo here, we take it from this high to this low, and then currently we have price around the 50% Fibonacci level. We have price around the 50% Fibonacci level. So I said all of that to say this. It is possible that this bullish move that we see here is the pullback for this downtrend. All right, is the pullback for this downtrend. All right, from this high to this low, get a pullback, and they would expect a lower low to happen. All right, expect a lower low to happen. Now, of course, price has the final say. All right, price has the final say, but that's the expectation that we have, right, based on what we see technically. Now, this level at 1.33, this level at 1.33, you see how price has stayed almost on the same spot for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, the past 5 days. Price has stayed on this same spot. And then we have some imbalance here, all right? We have some imbalance here as well. And imbalances like this, price likes to feel it before any significant move. And then we also have this level as well. This aggressive move, it was just a shallow pullback that we got right here, not a full one. Okay, so we got some imbalance here, and then we have another one here as well. So it will be interesting to see price filling some of these imbalances before we get that next significant move higher, if that's going to happen. Okay, so currently for pounds USD, we have this resistance at 1.333. Okay, of course, a close above that would mean that it has room to push higher. Then, if we do get some bearish patterns, bearish reversal patterns at this current level, then we'll be setting up to fill in some of these imbalances. Okay, so let's see what it looks like on 15 minutes. Yeah, this is what we have on 15 minutes time frame. So, like I said, this is the level to watch. All right, this is the level to watch at 1.1, so 1.333. All right, if we get some bearish patterns, some bearish reversal patterns around that resistance, okay, then that would be the opportunity to short pounds USD. On the other hand, a sustained break above 1.333 would mean that it has the potential to push higher above 1.333, okay, for pounds USD. Okay, so if you just want to lose your at top percent weight to the down cent with Euro USD on H4. H4. Okay, I believe this is the level you are referring to. Right there. I believe this is the level you're referring to. Okay. So price hits 50% level right here. Okay, price hits the 50% Fibonacci level right here. And then we're beginning to see some bearish move. All right, since price hits the 50% Fibonacci level. Okay, so like I said, we have eyes on 1.1636. Okay. For Euro USD, we have eyes on this support level. So a break below that will confirm the bearish move. Okay, we do not want to be are selling at support, except you're an aggressive trader, you do not want to be selling at support. I would rather wait for price to break below that support and then I go in for a sell, which will now mean that I'm selling at resistance because that level will automatically flow to resistance once sellers are able to take it out. All right, USD JPY. USD JPY. All right, it's one that we have also talked about quite a number of times on this forum. All right. Of course, we have this ascending channel. Have this ascending channel. Eventually, price broke above it, broke the resistance, the trend line resistance, and then all the way to resistance right there, or we got some correction. Okay. Now, our price corrected to 154.9, and then from that support, we're now seeing some bullish move. Okay, we're now seeing some bullish move. That's the daily time frame. Okay, so let's flip that to 15 minutes for a more precise entry. Okay, so we have resistance here. 156.081. Okay, currently prices are above it. Currently prices are above it on the 15 minutes time frame. All right. We're seeing some spikes, we're seeing rejections. All right. At this point, a higher price was rejected, right? And then at this point as well, a lower price was rejected. Okay, so I believe we're going to see some consolidation. All right, we're going to see some consolidation. So we have the high right here, this 15-minute time frame, and then we have the low right here. Okay. All right. We have the high right here, and then we have the low right here. So, like I said, a higher price was rejected. That's responsible for this long upper wick. And then at this point as well, a lower price was rejected. That's responsible for this long lower wick as well. Okay, so like I said, it's possible we could see some consolidation at this current level, but eventually, if we do get some bullish confirmations above 156.08 support, right? We get some bullish confirmations. We continue to see some bullish moves above 156.08. Then it has the potential to continue to push higher, especially if the dollar index now closes above that resistance elected earlier. Okay. Yeah, so above 156.08 is bullish above 156.08, and this is the 15-minute time frame. And what would further strengthen that will now be if we get it close above this high that was created right here. Okay. We get it close above that high to confirm the bullish move that is expected for USD JPY. Right? Yeah, I hope you got that. SS is what I see here. SS is what I see here. Okay. So that's for USD JPY. That's for USD JPY. And then we have USD CHF. Okay, we have USD CHF. And for USD CHF, we're looking at this level as well. Okay. So for USD CHF, we're looking at this level as well. And this level is also significant because of what we saw in the past. Okay, the level at 0.806. Okay, here you see how that same level impacted price. We got this bullish close above it, and then a bearish close back below it. here as resistance, here as support, here as support as well, here as resistance as well. So conference right there. And these three candles right there as well at 0.806 price level. Okay, so moving forward, and then we see some sideways movements right now. We see some sideways movements. Okay, so it's going to take a close above that for these to become bullish. Talking about USD CHF, it's going to take a close above 0.806 to confirm the bullish move right here. Now for USD CHF, of course, USD is the base currency. And then if eventually we get that close above resistance for USD index, then it's going to give, it's going to further strengthen the bullish move that we expect for USD CHF, right? So first, we need price to close above 0.806 for that to be confirmed. Okay, for that to be confirmed. Right, that's it for USD CHF. So this is the level to watch. This is the level to watch for USD CHF. AUD Okay, how do you know an instrument has been sold or without using the RSI? So you're tempted to take a trade. All right. I believe the RSI is still one of the fantastic tools to use for that. Now, if you do not, of course, use it in isolation, all right? You do not use it in isolation. For example, when you apply the RSI on the chart and it's below, it's giving you a signal for being oversold, you now also need to check the levels, the important key levels. You also need to align that with structure, all right? You're also looking at higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows, all right? So you don't use it in isolation so that you can uh, increase the accuracy, right? When you use the RSI. Yeah, for me, now remember, this is the level we're looking at, 0.806 resistance, right? We also cannot deny this downtrend, right? Or 15 minutes time, we can't deny this downtrend. Now we see this bullish move above 0.806, and then we have this bearish engulfing candle as well, all right? Barely closing below 0.806. Now, for some traders, this is the trigger to short, all right, as soon as there is a close below resistance, all right? So this, below support, automatically this level flips to resistance. Now, for some traders, this alone is enough to sell. Now, for me, I'm going to wait for an additional bearish candle. Okay, so for me, I'll be waiting for this next candle to also finish bearish. All right, as I see that, that would be a good opportunity to short. Right, that would be a good opportunity to short USD CHF. Right, Ajayi Kayode, I hope you got that. But AUD JPY, let's check out what's going on. AUD JPY as per Femi Ayola's request. Do I have it here? The answer is no. Okay. Pound CHF. one look at this, and of course, you can tell it's bullish. One look at this, and you can tell it's bullish. Okay. So, being bullish means that we're looking for opportunities to sell, right? To buy, right? We're looking for opportunities to buy, right? Like I said, one look at this and you can tell it's bullish. Okay. All right. This is just me trying to get the important key levels here. Okay. So here we got the consolidation that gave rise to this bullish move right here. So this bullish candle hit resistance at 103.66, and then we see some consolidation right below that resistance. All right. Now this is also an imbalance right here. This bullish candle we did not see so far price filling that imbalance. All right. So from this resistance, it will be interesting to see some retracement into that imbalance or FVG, if you like, fair value gap. All right. So it will be interesting to see some correction into that area or uh, to retest the consolidation that gave rise to that bullish move. Okay, consolidation that gave rise to that bullish move, right? So if we see that, that would be a good opportunity to go in for the buy, which is in line with the trend. All right, which is in line with the trend. However, because we expect that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. On the other hand, if we get a confirmed break above this resistance, all right, it means that price has the potential to continue to push higher above 103.66. Okay, above 103.66 if that's what we get eventually. All right, so number one, it closed above 103.66 or um, price it test this area or this area. So what happens is if we get it close above resistance, that would be our opportunity to join the buy. Or we get a retracement into this area and then we'll be looking for opportunities to buy here. All right. If we don't get it here, then we'll be looking at this level. Okay. That's how I'm going to be trading AUD JPY. All right. Pound CHF AUD USD. All right. And then one more. Is it Euro card? No, it's card JPY. Yeah, it's card JPY. Right. This is one that I'm adding to my watch list for trade opportunity. I see this. So we got this AUD USD. Yes, we're going to look at that. We have this trend line support, right? We have this trend line support, supported price multiple times. Okay, one, two, 3, 4 level right here. Okay, and then here, right here, it's acted as resistance for price right here, right? Then eventually price broke above that. Right. So for CAD-JPY, what it means is that above 112.26 or 112.23, all right, to continue to push higher, all right? So what we now need to see here, is a break above this resistance or a pullback into this level for a buy opportunity, right? For a buying opportunity. I'll be looking at it on the 15-minute time frame, right? So what am I looking for? One will be a break above this resistance or a retracement back into this level. Then whichever happens first will be an opportunity to long CAD JPY. Okay, to long CAD JPY. All right, AUD USD, and then we look at pound sterling before we call it a day. AUD USD, right here. Okay, so for AUD USD, this is the daily time frame. And then we have USD as the counter currency here, all right? Resistance right here initially. You see multiple attempts before price eventually broke above that right here, okay? So we have it at 0.658. Okay, this is the daily time frame. See multiple attempts to break above 0.658 and it's happened eventually right here. Okay. Hours, 1 hour. Okay, so we have resistance right there. Okay, 30 minutes time frame now. Then 15 minutes. All right, so we see how price is beginning to push away from that resistance. Okay, beginning to push away from that resistance. It's beginning to create lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so from that resistance. So for me, because USD is a counter currency here, if we see a close above the level I highlighted earlier for the dollar index, then this is going to experience a decline, right? This is going to experience a decline from the current level. But of course, this is the support level to watch. If we see a break below that support, then that will be our trigger to short AUD USD. All right, that will be our trigger to short AUD USD. All right, if from this current level continue to see bullish moves from this current level, then it has the potential to retest that resistance. Okay, it has the potential to retest that resistance. Right, and then by the time that happens, we'll see how price reacts at that resistance. All right, your trade opportunities. Okay, so from this current level, it's bullish. AUD USD. And then you look at pound CHF. pound CHF. Pound CHF. Again, this is me trying to get the key levels. All right. So from this support right here, all the way to this spike, all right, you see some aggressive bullish move, right, from that support. Okay. So we now have resistance here, 1.07. All right. We have resistance here at 1.075 thereabouts. Okay, so what that means is that for pound stated, one, we need to wait for price to take out that resistance, and then that would be our trigger to join that bullish move. Okay, or we get some retracements into this level, which was the high, all right, which was the previous high before price broke above it. All right, so it will be interesting to see some retracements into that area, all right, or we get a break above resistance at 1.075. Okay, now this is the daily time frame, so let's take it to 15 minutes. Okay. All right. So on this 15 minutes time frame, I'll be waiting for a break above this resistance, right? To uh, go in for a buy. Okay, I'll be waiting for a break above that resistance. All right, we see some sideways movement right here. We see some sideways movement. All right, so I'll be waiting for price to take out the resistance before uh, taking trade on pound CHF. Right, so let me check. Pound CHF was for okay, Angela, sorry. So we're looking at the area between 1.075 and 1.073. Okay, that's the area we're looking at. A break above resistance, right? A break above the resistance will be bullish for pound CHF. Okay, will be bullish for pound CHF. All right. But of course, when price hits this resistance at 1.075 and we get some bearish reversal patterns, all right, it means we're still going to continue to see consolidation, all right, and then that bearish pattern will be an opportunity to short pound CHF, all right. But so far, we're looking at the area between 1.075 and 1.073 for pound CHF, right. Okay, this is a fine place to leave it for today, right? This is a fine place to leave it for today. We have a number of assets already that we can have for watch lists, all right, for trade ideas. Okay, we've been able to look at the USD index so far, And if it eventually takes out the resistance, all right, as highlighted for USD index, all right, then that would be bearish for the likes of Euro USD and even pounds USD, and bullish for USD CHF and USD CAD. You may need to be looking at opportunities to buy for uh, the US indices. Okay, you're looking at opportunities to buy. If they are bullish, all right, say US 30, US 100, even US 500. Okay, we've been bullish, and US 500 has now taken out this uh, trend line resistance. All right, initially it was resistance. Now that prices are above it, okay, we continue to look for opportunities to buy above that, and then you see how prices also above the 50 period moving average. Okay, so continue to look for opportunities to buy for US indices. All right, now, like I said, it's been interesting talking to us for the past hour. Thank you very much for taking the time out to join us on today's edition of the Morning Market Review. Do plan to join us same time tomorrow from 8 a.m. Thank you very much, and I wish us a great trading day. See you next time, and bye for now.